I just want to do a really quick update on what I've been working on so far this past week. I did some swatches. I'm still exploring the Lycra, so the purple is the Lycra, but I'm doing plating it in jersey instead of doing jacquard, because jacquard is a lot of work on a machine like this. Instead, I thought, make my life easier. I think I can still do some cool stuff, but with jersey and adding Lycra to it, you can see it's very stretchy, but it's also very structured, which I like about this. I think I can do some really kind of structured knits, which is what I want to play with. And then I also played with contrasting just the bamboo viscose fiber here with no Lycra to see how the transition would go. And it went really well, I think. You can see this is with Lycra, this is without, this is with Lycra again here, and then this is without again. And I actually like that the transition is very subtle between the two, where you can kind of go from having this structure up here in a shape, and then you can go from being a little bit drapier in this section here. So I played with that, like horizontally striping the difference between the structured and the drapey fabric. And then I also tried here where it's more of a vertical divide between the two. So this side is all just bamboo viscose and it's very kind of drapey and loose and it moves pretty nice. And then this side is with the elastic Lycra plated in. So this side is a lot more structured. You can kind of see the difference. This side that's just the viscose moves a lot better, and this side with the Lycra, it's a lot more structured. So, and I did some sketching to go along with those concepts. I actually did the sketching first before I did the swatches. On this sketch, there's a lot of like gathering that I did because I thought that the transition between the plated with Lycra and not plated with Lycra, I thought that the transition would be more dramatic in that it would end up with gathering. So I'll redo some sketches. This gathering won't be quite so dramatic if I would actually do a garment like this with those transitions. So that's interesting to see. So I did these transitions where the main body would be kind of more structured, and then these sleeves that are sticking out are more like the structured, and then down here where you have any gathers, this part, and it's kind of a softer look, that's where it would just be the viscose and it would drape more. Same thing here where I did like these pants where down from the waist to the knees, it would be more structured, and then the bottom part would flow a lot more because it wouldn't have the Lycra. So I kind of played with those ideas. Also in a dress, just the waistband would be Lycra. The rest of it would just be bamboo without the Lycra, so it would just drape a lot nicer and it would be more lightweight. Playing with those concepts. For this, I was also playing with the same concept but with vertical seams that, like this swatch, the vertical seams that would divide the side with Lycra and the side without Lycra. So I played with that in these sketches where you can kind of see there's like princess seams in some of these that divide, you know, where the center part would be structured and then the side parts would be just the bamboo viscose and would lay a lot softer. And I also played with some asymmetry where one side of the garment would be structured and the other side would be softer, and then the waistband part would just have some Lycra in it to keep a flattering shape. So we'll see. This is still a work in progress, but I'm kind of liking the direction that this is going. I'm happy that I'm focused, that I'm working on jersey, because doing crazy stitches like on a manual machine like this, it's a lot of work. Even just doing jersey on a machine like this is a lot of work. I don't want to give myself too much work. So I think I'm going to stray away from the jacquard patterns, and I'm going to save those for maybe when I'm working with somebody that has auto machines. But I think we can do a lot of cool stuff just on this machine because we can do some really interesting textures and structured fabrics in knit, which is something I've always wanted to explore more. I really like structure in knit, and we can still make it comfortable because we've got a lot of stretch even in the structured fabric. I am a little bit worried about it still being too heavy for spring. I'm thinking about if I can find a lighter weight Lycra yarn or maybe a lighter weight bamboo yarn. I'm gonna see what I can come up with, because obviously you don't want it to be too heavy for spring. You want people to be able to comfortably wear the garments, which can be hard to do when you want structure in a garment, because structure automatically means a little bit more shape, maybe a little bit more volume. That can obviously mean thicker fabrics, or it can just mean fabrics that don't move and flow. They're kind of fabrics that don't necessarily look comfortable, but you want to obviously make them comfortable to wear. So that's why I'm right now playing with this contrast between drapey bamboo viscose and having a more structured bamboo viscose with elastic. And I think that's kind of an interesting contrast. The yarn looks the same when you look at them. The yarn basically looks the same, and if I use a darker color, they will definitely look more the same, but then the flow and the characteristics of the fabric will look and feel very different, which I kind of like that. It's like tricking the eye that it looks like the same fabric, but it's going to feel very, very different. One side is structured, one side is soft and drapey. I just gotta make sure I use the drapey part in the right places and the structured part in the right places so that the garments don't end up too heavy, but also not too see-through and saggy either. So we'll see. I still want to play around with placement and stuff like that. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of my development. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone else that is interested in fashion design development, especially knitwear. And subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks. Bye.